you on your own came up with the whole notion that it started when she left the DA's office and was judge in South Fulton. That's, according to you, that's speculation on your part, correct?
Overruled. Answer the question, Mr. Bradley.
Yes, that's speculation on my part, yes.
Right. It had nothing to do with what Mr. Wade had told you, correct?
I answered your question. I was speculating to the answer. That is correct.
So maybe you can tell the court, in your own words, why in the heck would you speculate in this text message and say that it started when she left the DA's office and was a judge in South Fulton? Why would you speculate and say that in a text? All right, let's continue now. I'm publishing it. After you said the word absolutely, on your own, you said it started when she left the DA's office and was judge in South Fulton. They met at...
Asked and answered.
All right, understood, Mr. Vadi. I'm going to let Mr. Sato have a few minutes on this, and we'll go from there. But
Judge, well, I'm sorry. I did answer this. I answered it for Ms. Merchant. I stated that I was speculating. The judge, someone objected to the speculation, but this was the exact same language.
all right, well, thank you for that recap, Mr. Bradley. Mr. Sato was asking the question in a slightly different manner, and I'm going to give him a little bit of leeway to do that. So, Mr. Sato.
All right, I hesitate to have to start back where I was, but after the word absolutely, you on your own said it started when she left the DA's office and was judge in South Fulton. They met at the municipal court CLE conference. That's what you said, correct?
That is correct.
Now, it's your testimony, at least so far, that when you on your own gave those two statements in the text, that you were merely speculating and did not have that knowledge from Mr. Wade. Is that your testimony under oath?
Yes, that's what I testified to. Yes, sir.
So you on your own came up with the whole notion that it started when she left the DA's office and was judge in South Fulton. That's, according to you, that's speculation on your part, correct?
Overruled. Answer the question, Mr. Bradley.
Yes, that's speculation on my part, yes.
Right. It had nothing to do with what Mr. Wade had told you, correct?
I answered your question. I was speculating to the answer. That is correct.
So maybe you can tell the court, in your own words, why in the heck would you speculate in this text message and say that it started when she left the DA's office and was a judge in South Fulton? Why would you speculate and say that in a text?
I knew they had met at the municipal court conference.
How do you know that? I'll stop you right there. How did you know that?
I answered that at the last. I knew that.
You now,
I knew that
sir,
because
I'm asking you questions, and you are in a situation where you get to give answers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking you, how did you know that?
How did I know when they met?
Somebody told you that, right?
When they met?
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Who told you?
Mr. Wade told me when they met.
So you had more than one conversation about the relationship between Mr. Wade and Ms. Willis, because he told you where he met her.
That's
correct?
incorrect. Incorrect.
It's incorrect.
It's incorrect.
Okay. Let's go back to the exhibit. Why would you speculate that that's when they started the relationship? What would cause you to put that down as speculation?
I don't recall, but why I thought that it started at that time. But I do recall that he only met her, and I testified to that he met her at that conference, which was in 2019.
You knew that Ashley Merchant represented a defendant in this case when you were text messaging with her, correct?
Yes, I did. Yes.
And you knew that the reason she was asking you questions about Mr. Wade was because she was trying to show when the relationship began, correct?
No, that's not 100%
It's not. Look at the
correct.
beginning of the text message.
Yes, but what
Text message-
messages were before this message, before she sent that?
I can't answer that question because I don't have them. All I have is what's in front of you.
Yes.
And it says that she says, do you think it started before she hired him? So you knew, as the counsel for a defendant in this case, that Ms. Merchant was asking you specifically about the knowledge that you had regarding the timing of the relationship between Wade and Ms. Willis, correct?
I mean, based on this, yes, I see what was asked.
And in response to that, you answered directly on your own what you now claim to be speculation, right?
That's correct.
So I ask you one more time before I move to the next part of this. Why would you speculate when she was asking you a direct question about when the relationship started?
I have no answer for that.
Except for the fact that you do, in fact, know when it started, and you don't want to testify to that in court.
Overruled.
That's the best explanation, isn't it?
This is completely
Overruled.
argumentative.
That's the true explanation, because you don't want to admit it in court, correct?
No, I have no direct knowledge of when the relationship started.
I'm not going to go back through that again. But if you didn't know, and you were asked specifically as this exhibit shows, maybe you can explain why you wouldn't say, I don't know.
Is that a question? You're asking me a question to answer?
Definite question.
State that again. I apologize.
If you're being asked, as we've just gone through with this text message from Ms. Merchant,
Yes.
as the attorney for a co-defendant,
Yes.
and she's asking you about the relationship, and she's clearly asking you about the timing, why wouldn't you just have said in response, I don't know when it started?
I don't know why I didn't say I don't know.
Maybe, again, it's because you know what the truth is, and that's why you answered exactly the way you did in Defense Exhibit 26, correct?
No, I can't sit here and tell you that what you just stated was correct.
Right. What you want the court to believe, and you want the rest of us to believe, is that for some unknown reason, upon being asked a direct question about when the relationship started, you decided on your own to simply speculate and put it down in a text message as opposed to putting down what you actually knew. That's what you want the court to believe, correct?
That was a lot. So can you break that down? I apologize. You're asking me, do I want the court to just
To believe that instead of saying nothing, you decided on your own to speculate.
Yes, I speculated. Yes, I've stated that I speculated. Yes, sir.
Right. That's what you want the court to believe, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, now, then when you go to the next page of that, okay, you see it starts, the best that I can see, it starts in South Fulton. Is that what you have in front of you? Second page.
The second page that I have says, that's what I figured.
Okay, that may be cut off from the one that I have. I'm looking at my opening line says in South Fulton. Is that on your second page?
No. So if you're going in order of the pages, no, neither page starts with South Fulton.
No, don't get caught up in whether it starts that way. Does the second page have a line in there that says in South Fulton?
Oh, yes, I apologize. So, yes.
That's fine.
Yes.
Just want to make sure that we're on the same page.
Yes.
Okay. You say after in South Fulton, they met at the municipal court CLE conference, right?
Yes.
You see that?
Yes, that's correct.
And then Miss Merchant says, that's what I figured when he was married. Is this accurate? Upon information and belief, Willis and Wade met while both were serving as magistrate judges and began a romantic relationship at that time. You see, that's what she said, right?
No, I mean, so it says they met at municipal court CLE. The only other thing here says that's what I figured when he was married. There's no response for me on that day. And then there's another response. I guess a question that says, is this accurate?
Okay, that's what I just went over with you.
Okay, so I don't have anything in that. Is this accurate at all? I can show the court.
No.
It just says, is this accurate with the question mark? I don't have anything following that.
You don't have, after that, upon information and belief, Willis and Wade met while both were serving as magistrate judges and began a romantic relationship at that time.
I apologize. It goes to the next page. I apologize.
No problem. Just
Yes.
want to make sure that
I see that now. Yes.
All right, so that's what I just read is exactly what Ms. Merchant said to you in the text, right?
Yes, that was in the text. Is it accurate upon further information? Yes, that's there.
And
yes.
again, since you have told us that you were speculating when you gave the answer that we went over with previously, on this one, you don't say, I don't know. You simply correct her by saying no, municipal court, right?
Yes, so she asked, was it accurate? And I said it wasn't accurate. No, it wasn't accurate. It was municipal court.
Right, and when you said it wasn't accurate, it was municipal court, you didn't say, no, that's not accurate. They didn't start a romantic relationship at that time, correct?
No, but I was referring to the municipal court. No, it wasn't accurate as it applied to I was answering the no municipal court, meaning when she said, is that accurate, it was to the municipal court and not magistrate court.
Okay, but you didn't say that the rest of what she asked you was accurate. You didn't say, no, that's inaccurate. That's not true. That's not accurate. You simply said the only thing that wasn't accurate was municipal court should be there instead of magistrate, right?
So I was answering the question of, it was a compound question. And I was answering the question of, she wrote magistrate court, and I said no, municipal court.
Right, but it's not compound. It's one statement upon
Mr. Sadow.
information and belief. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I know the feedback and the delay complicates things, but I think you've adequately made your point here. I don't think we need to belabor it much longer. Let's move on to the next issue.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Bradley, prior to coming into court today, did you and your lawyer meet with anyone from the district attorney's office?
No. I mean,
Did your-
no. Not that I know, I'm aware of, no. I
Have
did
you
not
had
meet to
any-
anyone.
Sorry.
I did not
cut
meet
you
with
off.
anyone outside of my attorneys.
Did you have any conversation?
I did not.
Meeting, conversation.
I did not.
So you have not spoken, if I understand you correctly, prior to coming into court today, you've not spoken with the prosecutors,
No.
right?
I've not spoken to the prosecutors. I've not spoken to defense.
Have you spoken to Mr. Wade?
No.
So as far as just getting into the courtroom today, there's been no contact or conversation in it with any of the parties we just went over, right?
There has not been any contact with defense or the state at all.
I think I have basically just one or two more questions. Why would you see the need to speculate when you were texting with Miss Merchant?
I think we did cover that one, Mr. Sadow. I think that exact question was already put to him. What would be the next one?
I'm trying to look. Let's go to 27. Defense Exhibit 27. Do you have that now, sir?
I do, sir.
All right. Would you look at it and tell me whether or not the Defense Exhibit 27 appears to be accurate? Because I want to seek to introduce it into evidence. It consists of an email to you from Miss Merchant and a text response from you, correct?
But the text response was not in response. So yes, it does consist of the email and a text response. I'm not saying that the text response applies to the entire email that was sent.
All I've asked you right now is,
Yes.
is the email and the text, are those accurate in the interaction that makes up Defense Exhibit 27?
As it applies to the stapling of the email and the stapling of a text message chain, yes, that is Defendant's Exhibit 27. This is, it's accurate.
Okay, I would move Defense Exhibit 27 in. I believe it was treated the same way as 26 last time.
Same objections, Mr. Abadi?
Yes, Judge.
All right, overruled. Any other objections from defense counsel? Seeing none, Defense Exhibit 27 is admitted.
All right.
Anything else?
Your Honor, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know whether you'll find this objectionable or not. I'll ask it, obviously.
All right.
Mr. Bradley, you realize that if you were to testify under oath, that you knew from Mr. Wade that the relationship between him and Miss Willis existed before the contract in November 1st of 2021, that if you testified that you knew that from Mr. Wade, that would show that both Miss Willis and Mr. Wade had lied under oath. You know that, don't you?
I'm going to object.
I think that's going to call for an opinion on the credibility of another testifying witness, so I don't think that would be an appropriate question.